And indeed, it's graduation time once again. Close to 500,000 graduates will receive their diplomas. Are they ready for the next chapter of their lives? Finding a job? Do their degrees comply with the demands of the job market? For those entering colleges for this school year, tuition fee hikes is an issue to contend with. Will the Commission on Higher Education grant the petition for tuition fee hikes? Joining us tonight is Secretary Patricia Licuanan of the Commission on Higher Education. Welcome, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening.
Right, ma'am, in the past, there were reports of excessive graduation-related expenses. Did you receive any this year?
Every year we get complaints of various kinds, and yes, I guess there have been some complaints about graduation expenses, but I must say I haven't heard them. It hasn't been a big deal this year so far.
All right, let's move on, ma'am, to the competencies of our graduates. There are a lot of jobs available in the job market, but there are still a lot of fresh graduates who are unemployed. Do you think there is a mismatch, or simply there is really they are inadequate in terms of reaching the standards set by the different companies?
I think it's a combination of both. I tend to be biased towards just certain basic skills. I feel that if the education that they receive is of a high quality, they will get jobs, no matter what area they go into. And that's what we're trying to do, is to truly improve the quality of the education they get, and therefore the quality of the graduates that will be joining the job market. But there are certain areas which tend to be oversubscribed. They tend to be popular for one reason or another. And so in a way, I think it is very important that graduates or going into universities consider other types of jobs that may not be fashionable.
Mm-hmm. All right, ma'am, is the Commission on Higher Education closely working with other government agencies such as the DOLE in terms of identifying what courses the students should enroll in the next school year, or if they're freshmen?
Well, there are certain national priorities which we support. There are areas which have been identified in the Philippine Development Plan, and these are the areas we are encouraging. We would like more students to go into science and technology. We would like more students to go into agriculture and science and engineering. So we're trying to promote those fields of study through various means. We are not always very successful, but I think it's a matter of time. And it's also related to the jobs that they see as available. If they see that agriculture leads to certain types of jobs, if they see that they will in fact be able to earn a living in this particular field, I think more and more students will go into these areas.
And how does the CHED continue to encourage our students to leave behind those oversubscribed courses and choose these unpopular but more profitable ones in the future?
Well, for one, we grant scholarships. We have scholarships available in these undersubscribed areas. So that's one method. I think we haven't done this very much, but I think basic information would be very important. They have to know the possibilities of various types of jobs. And also sometimes there are new careers that are not yet very obvious and people don't really know about them. And I believe it is our responsibility to develop these careers. For instance, with the Business Processing Association of the Philippines, we are helping the students who will go into the business processing industry. And we have developed certain courses and have mainstreamed this into certain areas like business administration and IT. So you can get a minor in service management, for instance. And so that we are assured by the industry that they will hire the graduates who come out of these programs with certain types of skills. We're also working with IBM on a field called analytics. It's called smart analytics, or it's like data science. And we are told that is also a career of the future. So that's the type of support we're trying to give to students for jobs in the future.
That's very good to hear, ma'am. But there are also reports that there are schools applying for tuition fee hikes. How many have already applied? And what is your process viewing whether you will approve or reject the requests?
Well, not so far because our deadline has passed. So there are 451 schools all over the country that have applied for tuition hikes. We will be processing those applications. Essentially, we require that the school, of course, submit how they're going to spend the tuition increase. We ask them for guarantees that a certain proportion of the 70%, for instance, will go to faculty and staff, salary and benefits, 20% back to the institution for improvement of facilities, improvement of equipment, and so forth, and only 10% for return on investment in the case of stock corporations. We also want the schools to assure us, and they have to show that they go through some kind of a genuine consultation process where all the stakeholders participate and contribute to the discussion on whether or not these fees are reasonable. So those are some of our requirements.
All right, thank you very much, ma'am, for enlightening us on these issues. That was Secretary Patricia Licuanan of the Commission on Higher Education.